Hello, everybody in podcast land. This is another edition of the Website Depot podcast. Yoast Me, Don't Roast Me. I'm here with my co-host, Greg Benevent. What up, Greg? How you doing?
Hey, Zeke, how you doing, man? I am hanging in here. Another Monday afternoon. Glad to be healthy, working through it. How are you?
Good. We're all at home. We're still under
hmm
quarantine, but as I understand, most of us have been getting out a little more, right?
hmm Certainly, I know I have. Yeah, I was someone that because I guess there's been conflicting reports about whether or not asthma is actually something that can make it worse for you. So now there's some evidence that hey, maybe asthma doesn't mean that you get it quite so bad. Not that I'm out there licking doorknobs, but I am going out there, going for a walk, going for a run,
Yeah, that's
once a
good. It's
day,
good to
trying to
get
get
out
out.
there.
And what about you? You're
Absolutely.
getting out a little bit too, aren't you?
Yeah, I try to go golf every Saturday at least.
Nice.
Um, I'm trying to get in a little bit because I'm in bad shape, so I need to get in better shape. So I try to go to Griffith Park, which is right behind me, about 1.5 blocks. So I try to go up
Nice.
there, halfway up the hill, and come back at least 3 times a week. So, but you
Oh,
would
that's
be
great.
surprised. There's a lot of sunbathers out there. It
Yeah,
looks it looks
I
like the
guess I
beach.
would. I mean, with the beach closed, I guess where are they going to go?
I know
Plus,
that's where they're
it could
going.
also be a thing like it might be closer for them too. I mean,
Yeah,
it's supposed to having to drive out all the way to the beach. You can just fly. I don't know. Wouldn't
yeah,
that be uncomfortable?
in a few years, and no, actually, no. It's a very like green patch of
Ah,
hills right there. It's
okay.
very well kept. There's like sprinklers that go on very consistently. It's very green and it looks nice, but I mean, those people are all clustered up
Right.
though.
It
Yeah,
defeats the entire purpose of this
right.
entire thing.
hmm So yeah, I mean, we just discussed a few things. This is going to be like a little bit less formal type of
hmm
podcast versus
hmm
the other ones. Some were very, very informal and more wild, such as the happy hour one,
Oh
which I
man.
think is still getting edited because
Okay.
I've yet to put that one up. But um,
That's perhaps for the best
it's a
that
good
that's
one. No, it's
continuing
gonna
to
be.
get still
It
edited.
seems
It
okay.
is.
It seems like a good
Oh
one.
yeah, I didn't mean to
It,
imply it wasn't okay. I mean, I
I'm
just
sure
like
it's entertaining.
right.
But
You could have a good time
and then we
watching.
had a more technical one the previous week that
hmm
I'm trying to get unlocked, but the person with it is a little busy and I can't quite get to the file.
hmm
So yeah, I mean, also just to review some news about us, in case you're a client of Website Depot, thinking of becoming a client just to see what we work like. By the way, we're always available. We could come on a one-on-one screen with you right now.
hmm
But we are working remotely through 2021 now, taking the lead of Google and Twitter.
hmm
So that changes a lot of things here. I mean, I was thinking to myself like, well, and a lot of people are too. There's a colleague of ours, um, uh, young lady starts with an M. She's thinking of going to
hmm
Texas and buying property there versus just renting out here in LA. So
hmm
actually, I've been thinking the same thing. I don't mind renting
Wow.
so much, but there's
Okay.
some pretty sweet places out in Vegas for really cheap.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
but that leaves that door open to continue
Yeah.
working here at the same rate, the same amount of time, and
hmm
then maybe go somewhere even more affordable. That kind of thing. It's an ideal situation. But do you have any plans
Yeah.
like that at all, or at least have been
Absolutely
pondering?
not. I mean, no. I
Well,
mean,
you got to make your scene here with what
right.
you're
I
doing
mean,
in
it's yeah.
comedy,
I mean,
right?
you got to be LA. Yeah. I mean, although I've been certainly on plenty of digital comedy shows since this thing started, but it's while the digital aspect has changed every industry from show business to marketing to everything else, and people can do things from places they couldn't before. There's always going to be some kind of utility to being in the city, whether it's LA or New York or
There
even I know
is.
our colleague you were talking about Houston. I think she's somewhere she might have mentioned going there. I
Yes.
mean, it's and yeah, there's always going to be something to the city where you might find different opportunities than you might elsewhere. But there is a flattening. I mean, of work and how people can communicate and all that. So yeah, I mean, the only place I could ever see moving is moving. I mean, at some point in my life, I always planned on moving home to Western Pennsylvania, to the Pittsburgh area, but not. I wasn't planning on that anytime soon. But it's as ever, and you mentioned it yourself. There's really something when you see those properties when things are going for. I mean, it's just amazing the prices on
It's just an LA real estate thing.
that.
It's I
This
don't
is
know.
also true.
It's the perception that LA has to everyone that has people coming in. Although I hear there's been quite an outflow of people, and
Oh yeah.
it's mostly because they can't afford it. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel like I'm in that you know in that
Mm-hmm.
range right there. I can afford it, but
No.
I could like open up a lot more savings, like a lot
Right.
more flexibility if I were to do this thing. And by the
Mm-hmm.
way, I kind of see like Las Vegas is not so much like a middle of nowhere place as actually it used to be, but it's
Right.
very much on the up and up. I feel, and my favorite football team is moving there too.
That's right. And that
Yeah,
stadium's amazing. I know me and some people for some shows drove into it in November. And when you drive into Vegas now, the first thing you see, even
is
before the
this?
strip, is that stadium.
Yeah,
That's astonishing.
it's
I
looking
mean, that was,
nice. It's looking nice. Yeah,
I couldn't believe it when I saw the thing. But no, and I think, and even then, to speak of what you're saying, my numbers on this might be a little out of date, but for years, like many years, I know the surrounding Las Vegas area was always one of the fastest growing in terms of homes and people moving
yeah.
there, and I
In a
imagine that's
way,
continued.
yeah. I don't know if it's still at the highest rate, but at one time, like Henderson, and it still is growing. Henderson's a big growth area. It's down
Okay.
south,
Mm,
southeast, kind of pushing towards Lake Mead, that kind of thing. And then
okay.
there's also
Okay.
like little neighborhoods that are very nice, like Summerlin, which is next to like Red Rock Canyon. It's pretty nice up
Oh,
there. You can go take hikes up there.
I see.
It looks kind of like I don't know, kind of like those pictures of Utah, maybe.
Okay. That I certainly have a clear mental image for. You say that. I know what that looks like immediately.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
and it's an okay golf scene, although it's a little bit more um, expensive. It's more like
Oh,
$100 on average versus like you can find some good stuff here in LA for $50, $60.
huh. What do you think that's about? Why do you think that has the higher price?
I don't know, but it seems like everything else has a lower price except that.
That's the one thing.
I don't
It's
know.
the
Maybe
gold
it's
that's
more. I don't know
expensive.
if it's more in demand or a tourist destination just for that. But oh,
That's,
there's a lot of choices out there.
yes, absolutely. And it's something you could think about. You're not, but that's the main takeaway from this is that you're not tied to a certain city anymore necessarily, depending
Yeah, I mean
on your
anyone could go
industry.
where they're kind of interested in going.
Hmm.
We'll
Hmm.
see if that's the case. I want to see if it like really adds up. Um,
Right, right. We're
I'll
still at the
tell you.
beginning of this
I'll
thing.
tell you right now. Like right now, I'm like say I'm splitting with somebody. We're splitting a place like over 2K.
Okay.
Um, versus that would be 2 bedrooms. Versus I could maybe get like a 1 bedroom, something like 800. But think about it.
Okay.
I'm like splitting that in half, which is about 11 or 1200 or so.
Okay.
And then if I were to do that over there, here's the perk that I have here is I have free like energy and utilities here, which is awesome.
Mm,
Which is great.
yeah.
But that's also not to mention all the great stuff around here. A lot of stuff to do, even though a ton of it's closed right now. But
Right, but it won't
I mean,
always be. I
I could
mean,
run my
yeah.
air all I want, and I could have the lights on in the kitchen all I want.
Right,
Um,
right.
what I could even run like my machines all I want, whatever. And that cost doesn't come. But think about a place like freaking Vegas that has an average of 105 in the summer months.
Oh man,
And I'm
that's just
thinking, okay,
bananas.
if it's something like I don't know, if I'd be paying 800 or 900 or something,
Hmm.
is that whole perk going to cancel out once I get that energy bill, that kind of thing?
Right,
I'm
right.
trying to ponder that. We'll see. So that's why I haven't really made a decision yet. I think
Gotcha. And it's
kind
and
of
I think
looking
that's just it.
at a car
Okay.
more at the moment because that's
Yeah.
another good opportunity right now that we have is they're
Hmm.
getting very desperate right now. They're lowering the
Absolutely.
interest rates. They're lowering the down payment that that it takes to get it out of the lot and everything. So looking at that
Hmm.
too.
But I think that that's just it. Is that like these things you're talking about moving on, talking about getting a car. You got, these. It's not like these opportunities are going to change tomorrow. They're not going to change next week. I mean, and that's like
No,
we're not the only company working from home for the rest of the year. I mean, this is going
no.
to be an ongoing thing. But,
Yeah, given that we could work well remotely, which is true. I was just talking to a friend yesterday, and he has his mom that he thinks might end her career just working remotely,
hmm.
because she worked at like in a corporate banking position, and then
Oh.
they're all just working just fine just because they work on computers.
Uh-huh.
This was a B of A job. Not gonna say any
Oh,
names,
okay.
but B of A job.
Right, but I mean, but that's yeah, but again, that's one more industry that you might think, hey, it has to be in this specific location. Well, no, it doesn't. I mean, that's what we're kind
No,
of finding as this
not
thing goes
really.
on. Like,
As long as you could access the same system, much like we do here at Website Depot, although we have a lot of software we use, we can tell
you
some of
really
our
do.
customers, we use Drive. We use Drive with our customers. We share stuff on Drive. When we get done with this recording, I have to put it in Drive. It goes from
Hmm.
Drive onto the internet.
Hmm.
I don't know. We have CRM systems. We have Slack. So many forms of communication here.
Oh yeah, Basecamp, Trello, probably three other things I'm forgetting of off the top of my head.
Quite a few. We have the digital
Mhm.
reporting thing, which we're doing white labeling with, which is
Hell yeah.
reports.websitedepot.com, which is accessible to some very top packages, which is a big, big dashboard giving you all your real-time numbers. It's great if you like to inquire about it if you're a digital marketing client. So, yeah, and also I wanted to talk to you about it. A few more
Hmm.
things to talk about. A little bit of a short
Sure.
podcast
Yeah.
version today, but you've been
Hmm.
writing on DannyStar.com. I advise people
Yeah.
go on
Yeah.
DannyStar.com. There's some
Mhm.
really good digital marketing content straight from Danny. Some of it's curated and written by Greg,
Mhm.
but like a lot of the expertise is backed by Danny, and
Mhm.
it's more of his consultancy page.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was and just even piggyback on what you're saying. Like I was when I was writing on it today, I was thinking about today we had like a brainstorming session as
right,
the group together, the entire company, and it was and and people contribute and all that, and it's sort of and it and it drove home to me just how important it is to have that a culture of ego free pitching. Like it's not always easy to get someone that even has a good idea to necessarily speak up with it, because not everyone's great in that situation where we're all throwing out ideas. But
mm-hmm.
to get to a place where people are going to be comfortable just submitting the first thing off the top of their head, that takes a certain kind of corporate culture. That takes a place where you can make everyone feel comfortable, like they have something to contribute, even if it's not the
Right,
best idea at first. It could
yeah,
potentially trigger the next person that, hey, does have the good idea.
yeah.
It
And I've heard
Yeah,
some
I
good
mean,
ideas from peers out there.
mm-hmm,
That's good.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, you've given some good ideas as well.
mm-hmm.
And I
Good.
look, in my experience, as a group as a whole, there's
Mm-hmm.
always going to be that timid bunch that's never going to
Absolutely.
really input anything, and then there'll be a
Right.
big pause, and they'll be like, "Guys, anything else?" And then I'm like, there's like 15 people in here," and then no, pure silence.
As someone that's also been a part of that in other cultures, I certainly sympathize.
Yeah,
But yeah, but that's and we don't mean to say that like, hey, the person that doesn't speak up in the brainstorming session
right.
isn't that good at their job. It's often the exact opposite case. I
Mhm.
mean, they're just as good at what they do. It's just not necessarily that that this is the most conductive environment
Right,
towards getting the most out of them. So it takes a certain, there's certain things you have to do to make it so that everyone feels comfortable with that level of egoless, ego-free pitching.
good.
It's
And in some cases, I think there's some people with egos that are maybe it's got to take quite a big ego too, but that are just so masterful at that they can mask their ego and make the other person feel like they're getting a favor done, like the greatest favor just landed on your lap right now. This is either in a selling setting or like ideas pitching type of thing, where you
Mm-hmm.
could say this could be perhaps the you know the decision to get us over the hump, like that kind of thing,
Right.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
or to get
That
you
like
over the hump.
one
It's more
thing.
like make it about the listeners, or the
Mm-hmm.
subjects, whatever. So,
Mm-hmm. That's
but I mean,
exactly right.
sometimes they've been pretty productive. Sometimes like where it takes a few times to get some really good out, but
Absolutely. Just like anything else. I mean, it's
well, for the sake of transparency, on the same on the same lines about our brainstorming today, we came up with something I think you and me are going to work on. Just letting
right.
everyone know, and also it's to announce some. It's like another branch of our business.
Mm-hmm.
It's attorney marketing dot online. It's a new website. It's being built by our and we spoke about this on the Happy Hour podcast, which
Mm.
is yet to go up. But here, let me screen share for you guys really quick for those that might
Yeah.
see it on YouTube. It's being put together by our great developers like Nick and Elena and Edwin, who are working
Mm-hmm.
on this. It's pretty well done. Maybe I think the pixelation on here might be a little better on the logo,
Mm-hmm.
but it's getting pretty well done. Basically, the reason why we're doing this is because we've done a really great job with his initial clients over the years. Over the 15 years that Danny's been a consultant, that he's opened Website Depot since that time.
Mm-hmm.
The lawyer clients are the ones that we've really kicked a lot of ass on.
Right.
That we've been able to make them very prominent in LA in a very saturated and competition environment.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result of that, and they've stuck with us for a long time, we said, hey, why not we market directly to attorneys? This is the very first step in doing that. And for example, I would say to any of you that are small business owners that have like that certain niche of client that maybe it's too broad for your base website what you're selling, make a landing page that's targeted like this, that'll say
Mm-hmm.
like say for example, if you do like a great amount of money doing catering for corporate events or catering for a school event, right? um, it's not really part of your restaurant. So what I advise you do is make a landing page somewhat like this, say, and then make it corporate catering or school catering, special school
Mm.
catering. Put a little section out like this, and that's kind of what we're doing. I think it's going to work out great. It's going to come
Mm-hmm.
with some advertising once it's all ready to run. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
what we're doing in our brainstorming now, Greg, is somewhere in here. We're going to be offering people a nice little ebook that we're going to write.
Yes.
So this just came
Fantastic.
out. The ideas are still kind of flowing there
Right. You're
about
chugging it
what
through. Yeah.
exactly we're going to do. What are we going to write about? I told Greg,
Mm-hmm.
basically, it's like the same thing we always do as Website Depot itself. Search engine marketing. We make videos for people.
Mm-hmm.
We make YouTube ads. We do SEO, paid management, social media management. It's a longer list. Web maintenance.
Right.
We set up schema in some cases. So all that stuff basically for lawyers. That,
Yeah.
that that's what we're going to cover, but let's tailor it towards them. Oh yeah, case
Mm-hmm.
studies too. I mean, we have Bilal, who's probably Bilal Hamida is a very prominent workers' compensation and injury attorney in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to be a featured guest of the show, so I just want to put
Yes.
that out there. Can't wait to get him in.
Good
He's
to sit down with them.
he's an
Yeah.
amazing guy. He came to us like in his early 20s, where he just like passed the bar,
Okay. I never
and
knew
he's
that.
grown into several offices since that time.
Oh wow.
I like to, I don't want to say, hey, it's because of us. He's a great attorney. He's won a lot of awards, and
I, oh, I know
won a
that.
lot of settlements for his people at a
Mhm.
very young age, like before he was 28, and
Oh
he won
wow.
like a top attorneys under 30 in the nation awards, that kind of stuff. So I hope to have him here pretty soon. We're gonna give him a call. We talk to him a lot, so we're always on the line with him. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then also that brings us to case studies. What do you think?
Yes.
Like, I mean, have you worked on a few case studies? I've done some, but kind of like roughly put statistics put together, that kind of stuff. I
Yeah,
think
well, I
there's
think
some
it's
room for that here, where we're
yes.
looking at that.
Hmm. I think
Oh,
that's
here
one
you
of the
see
things we're going to get
Paul
on.
here. We talk about him, and here's a few
Hmm.
other. Oh yeah, Congo Law. He's a corporal lawyer in Orange County.
Hmm.
Gomez and Simone. Yep, I see all those guys.
Yeah, I mean the
So,
list kind of
any
goes on here.
ideas of how we should take this on? Where it's gonna be? It's not gonna be a full volume book. It's gonna be like a few dozen pages, maybe.
Yeah, I
Or is
think
it
it.
gonna
Yeah,
be
I think
the
it's just the word ebook. I think has a different thing, but it's I mean, think about it. There's since Danny's last book, it's not like there's been any shortage of upheaval and disruption in digital marketing. I mean, things have it really does all change that quickly. So there's certainly plenty to say about
yeah.
everything that you talked about and how to and how to deal with it in this even more digital age
Hmm.
than we had late last year.
Yeah. And lawyers are essential business.
Hmm.
And then,
Hmm.
as are we. And like, say, the technicality, the way we execute stuff, and the tools we use haven't really changed. It's just that
Hmm.
it's more important to get on it if you weren't before. Stop using archaic
Right.
methods, and
Right.
it'll help your business.
Hmm.
Because you're not going to be doing a lot of in-person stuff right now.
No, that's going to be gone for some time.
Oh, yeah, although we're slowly transitioning, but we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Hmm.
But yeah, you and I, Greg, we got to sit down and talk about it.
We will figure it out.
As this just came out in the brainstorming session, let's decide on a deadline for this,
Right.
as well
Right.
as we will keep our viewers and listeners privy to how this is going right here. This is a special project. Like I
Hmm.
said, if you have a small business, you have a special niche of clients. This is basically it. We're still Website Depot. It says it on the bottom,
Right.
but we're doing that tailoring to you, saying we're doing this for you guys. So say,
Hmm.
you have I don't know. I could just throw any little idea out there, like say if you're a contractor, you need to buy our tools instead of like just some homeowner tools for contractors. That
Right.
kind of idea. Get out a landing page for that.
Exactly.
So,
There's
and that's
really no better time than now for this. Yeah.
absolutely so. Yeah,
Hmm.
looks like we gotta go. You
Cool.
gotta get to somewhere,
Yeah, I
and
gotta
I
head
got
out. Yes.
I gotta continue working, doing some client follow ups, and for Zeke Hernandez, Greg Benevit. This is Website Depot. Yoast me, don't roast me. We will be back very soon. I believe midweek we should have some special interviews with
Hmm.
maybe a top coder or maybe one of our top clients. Right on. So take care. Signing out. See you, Greg. We will talk soon.
See you later.
Bye bye.